Yo, 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 everybody, it's time for a little repacked wax. Finally, I don't think I can wait any longer. So, and give it some time, make sure everything is set up. Finally got this working after technology. FedEx lost my first repacked wax box, so I had to send another one. NZ Break, what's going on, my dude? How you doing? Having a little fun today. We're gonna open up this repacked wax box right here. Probably seen this before. It's definitely got some weight to it. It is a heavy box. 15 cards a pack, 36 packs. This is the full box. It says first edition. I'm not sure if it's technically the first batch. I tried to get the first batch, and like I said, FedEx lost that box, so they had to end up sending me another one, so we'll see. But again, collection, condition and selection may vary. Lunch break, nice. Well, that's pretty good. From the office, it sounds good that you're still working over there. Didn't you say something about your whole country is gonna go on like a month quarantine or something? Self-quarantine? Are you guys in the middle of that, or what's going on with that? Alright. Gary, what's up, dude? We got a little repacked wax today. So finally got my technology issues sorted out here with the stream and everything. This is, we are using the new camera. So, you know, hopefully all goes well. We might have some technical issues. We'll work through them if we do. Oh yeah, essential. Yep, same, pretty much same over here. If you're essential, you're working. This box is really nice. It's got like a clean matte finish to it. Green box, again, repacked wax. So we're gonna get a bunch of different cards today. We'll see how that goes. See what we get. All super random. Take a look at some of these packs. If you haven't checked out their YouTube channel, they have a couple videos on how they put these together, everything like that, so we can take a look at the wax pack, because that's part of the magic of this here. Experience the unbeatable thrill, smell, and feel of opening wax packaged vintage sports cars. Alright. High quality packs may include stars, rookies, commons, and more surprises. Of course, you gotta have the commons in there. I smelled it. It actually does smell like a wax package. So, I guess we'll just get cracking in here. Each pack should have a sticker on the top, sticker on the bottom, which is nice to protect our cards. Here they are again, repacked wax. So we're gonna have a stack of those after this is all said and done. Let's see what we got here. We got a Hall of Famer right off the bat, so I guess we'll have like a random Hall of Famer stack. And then of course there's commons, 96 tops, David Bell, 88 Fleer, Eric Show, 2003 tops, Frank Catalanato, not Bobby Catalano. Bobby Bonds, 81 tops. That's a pretty cool one. Holy cow, look at that one. Long career there. Bobby Bonds. 87. We got a 77 checklist here. Alright. Jeff Reardon. Flipping all the way around. Mike Witt, good pitcher. Somebody who had a no-hitter with Mark Langston. Alright. We have 79 tops. Preston Hanna. I like that Braves logos and unis and stuff. And we have a JT Snow from Fleer Ultra. JT Snow. I know JT Snow. They used to call him JT Snow Jr. in the beginning, but so I guess I can throw some. We'll have a common stack, and then we'll have a oldies common stack, so we can go through at the end, I guess. All right. So kind of getting acclimated to this product as we do every product when we go through it. Kind of learn How we do? We got these stickers again. Throw those off to the side. Alright. So 90 Fleer. Deion Sanders on the Giants right there from 96 score. He's a Hall of Famer. Can't forget about him. 90, is this 94 tops? I think. Prospects. Bartolo Colon. Look at that. Bartolo Colon prospect card. Yes, that is the Bartolo we know. Bartolo just had a kind of a viral video on billiards, in fact, pool. So there it is. That is 96 tops. That's the 96 prospects. All right. Well, that's our first decent card right there, Bartolo prospect. We'll put that up there. Cool. We got some Bowman. Jeff Zahn for the Angels in a Twins uniform. All right. Fergie Jenkins with the Rangers. That card is in superb condition too. I know Alex just got into Fergie Jenkins, Jay's Mix. That is a slim Bartolo, right? Doesn't even look like him. Mike Paxton, 1980 tops. There's a Jim Eisenreich. That's a super blue card. Everything but the logo and his face is blue. And I guess his white uni. Another blue card. Look at that. Those are like blue cards. Bill Russell. Very nice. These cards are in really good condition. So if you watch that YouTube video of how they put these together, some, you know, they're buying singles, they're buying sets. So some could come from sets as well. Look at this, 2004 Topps opening day, Ken Griffey Jr. That's a sweet one. That's a Hall of Famer, Ken Griffey Jr. That's not bad. 92 Bowman, Earl Cunningham, the Cubs, okay. 89 Dave Stewart from Upper Deck, and a Bob McDonald, Stadium Club. All right. Nothing too special yet, but we're getting through the first couple here, learning about it still. Let me know if the audio and everything like that is good on your guys' end. If I need to fix anything before we continue on. Look at that. Brock Raines, Tim Raines. Another Hall of Famer from 96 score. Alright, Pat Borders. We have the Eddie Murray 90 Donruss, Hall of Famer. Gotta put him over there. 83 Donruss, Dan Meyer. I could feel this card was on the back of the wax pack. Can't really see it, but it's got that kind of like the stain there. Terry Francona, young 90 or 86. Very cool. Cubs. This is the traded, so we could have got the Bo or Barry Bonds. It's all right. See a 72 coming up. That's gonna be fun, and it's a Bill Buckner Topps All Rookie Cup. I don't know if they technically call that a rookie cup. It's not really a rookie cup. All right. Audio and picture are good. Not bad. So you can tell the quality isn't, you know, the condition of this card is the greatest, but it's Bill Buckner Rookie Cup card, which is pretty cool. Unfortunately, if you're thinking of the 84 World Series and Bill Buckner, he might not, might not leave a good taste in your mouth, especially if you're a Red Sox fan. Poor Bill Buckner. Sadly, he'll always be remembered for that ball, but he had a good career. Look at this. League standouts, Jose Canseco. So he's not a Hall of Famer, but I guess we will put him in this decent pile we have over here. Brian Dubois. Gene Garber, 79. Topps. Is that the second one that we've seen? Wait. Am I... No. Who had that, Oh, Preston Hanna had the Braves. Look at that. Double Braves with the old Braves. Both 79. Okay. Fleer Baseball League Leaders from 88. Julio Franco. Interesting. Set of 44. That's definitely a Fleer card right there. Julio Franco on the Indians. Cool. Not too big. Nothing too big yet. Alec Bannister. 96 Topps. Wilson Alvarez. Alright. Let's do another one. You saw, I think, John, The Past is Alive. His video on this repacked wax is kind of what sparked the demand for this product. Luckily, he shouted them out before he made that video. So some of us could look them up and stuff like that. Really cool. We got a 78 Reggie Smith right here. Alright, not bad. That's a older card. And look at that, 84 Andre Dawson. Condition very cool as well. During his time on the Expos. We'll throw that down. Nice Hall of Famer. Mike Fetters. We got a Donruss opening day. Mike Kingery, not the Barry Bonds. Johnny Ray. Truth, what is up? Yes, it has been. Sunday has been good. Finally got this camera stuff sorted out because I was planning to do this yesterday, but we are here today. So another 81 Topps. Look at the Angel, Rick Miller. Pretty cool. A lot of green border there. Uh-oh. You guys know what this is. 71 Fleer. Gene Harris. We got Mark Gardner. There's Billy Ripken. Not the Billy Ripken card. Alex Trevino Fleer. We got a 62 Topps coming up. Very cool. Let's see who it is. George Hendrick. And it's Bob Johnson from the Washington Senators. Alright, Bob Johnson. Look at that. Super cool. 1962. Bob Johnson. I don't know anything about Bob Johnson. Have to do some research on him. You see a Finest card coming up with some coating on it too. Let's see. Terry Mulholland and oh, it's a Tim Nehring. Third base for the Red Sox. Finest protector still on there. 1998 Topps Finest. It looks like Ian Kinsler kind of. Alright, we'll put that in the decent card pile. Guess we'll throw that there. So we got a 1962 Topps, 1972 Topps. That's pretty cool. Truth. Luckily you are in time. You did not miss any Justice appearances yet. So that is still, we're still waiting on that one. Oh, look at that one was a blank sticker. Alright. Still waiting on the Justice. We got Mike Piazza, pretty cool, from Collector's Choice. I don't remember having the gray border. 98 Collector's Choice. Well, there you go. Wasn't collecting during that time. That's pretty cool. Another Hall of Famer. Back to back. Take a 91 Griffey. All-Star card. Oh, another 72. And it's another Dodger. Bill Singer right there. So far, this would be a nice Dodger fan box. 72 Bill Buckner and Bill Singer. Super psychedelic set, huh? I like that one. Steve Swisher, 83 Donruss. We got a Jim Rice, 88 Hall of Famer. 88 Topps Jim Rice. We got 93 Juan Guzman. 88 Fleer Al Pedrique. Another Fleer Ultra. But this one is a Hall of Famer. We saw JT Snow before. This was Cal Ripken. Very, very cool. Love that orange back. That is a sweet card design back right there. That goes in the sweet pile. He won't come in this product? What? Why not? If he's too good of a card, they'd pull... What? What? We got an Ozzy. Holy moly. Classic centering on the Ozzy, but I have never owned this card in any condition. What? Just talking about Dave Justice, but holy cow. I'm gonna put this in this sleeve right here. Look at that. 1979 Ozzie Smith rookie card on the Padres right there. What's up, hobbyist? Came just in time. Look who we just pulled. Just pulled the Ozzie Smith rookie. And you know, if this card is super, super hard to get good centering on, it's on the edge of the sheet. I believe a PSA 10 is around $30,000 or something like that. Absolutely crazy. That is insane right there. We're going to put that one down. Slide Bill Singer over because, whoo! We're doing the Repacked Wax today, hobbyist. Repacked Wax. This is that vintage baseball cards, basically a bunch of baseball cards put together, kind of like an Ultimate Fairfield wax box. They threw them back into wax packages for us for the kind of nostalgia and the feel of doing it again. They say also the smell. So look at that hit. We're going to finish off this pack. We've got to take another look at that. Holy moly. Al Williams, 82. Love the 82 set. 82 tops. And here is a Pacific Crown Collection. Lee Tinsley. Love Pacific back in the day. Put that in a nicer card pile. And holy moly. I can't get over this. Like I said, I've never owned the Ozzie Smith rookie. I've been looking to get one, but I guess I don't have to now. Holy moly. I'm going to go on a limb and probably say that's, what do you think, the biggest card we'll find today? I don't want to sell it short here, but dang. I can't really imagine what we could find it better than that. 78, Ken Henderson. Cool. And the Rangers. Gary Pettis, 87 tops. All right. Mike Schmidt, that is a Hall of Famer right there. 88 Fleer, throw him in the pile. It's just like a Leaf Preferred coming up. We'll see. Bert Roberg. Did I hear the story about this product? It is a Leaf Limited here. Greg Gagne. The story, I don't know what you mean by the story. If you're referring to their YouTube videos, kind of how they put these together, I did see those. So that was very cool. That's kind of what initially got me into this product. You know, John Jab from The Past Is Alive mentioned it before he actually broke it. And so I looked him up and luckily purchased a box. I don't even know what this is from. Upper Deck. I don't even know. Draft class, okay. So yeah, I bought a box actually before my birthday, and then FedEx lost it. The guy over there, Ryan at Repacked Wax, said he, gave them the box, submitted the box, and they actually never scanned it in, so he had to send me another one. And finally, after that, after all these technology issues, we are here. What's up, Princess Leia, hobbyist in the house? Very, very cool. Look at Bud Black. He used to be an Angels coach. And Gil Hodges. Look at this. Very, very cool. 67 tops. Holy moly. Very, very cool. Look at that one. Gil Hodges, manager. When he was a manager for the Senators. We'll take that one. That's not bad. Alan, grade-worthy trading cards. What is up? Doing well. Finally got this tech stuff, camera setup, stream setup, so we're here. Nice. Larry McWilliams, 80 tops. Larry McWilliams, Gerald Perry. Look at that one. That's a nice Joe Morgan, 79. For the Reds, Joe Morgan with the big red machine. Dwight Gooden, Studio. Jesse Orosco. Al Cowens. And Darren Fletcher, not David Fletcher. And look at that, if you guys are just popping in one of the very first packs, we pulled the Ozzie Smith rookie card. Ozzie Smith 1979 tops. So we're also, we pulled a couple 72s, a 62, and this is 67, I think 67. So hopefully, we keep going, but yeah, these are actually real sealed wax packages, and kind of ahead of tops, beating tops out. We got a little protector layer so cards don't get all waxed up. If only Tops had thought of that. So let's keep going. Dick Tidrow for the Cubs there. Pretty cool. Another 78. Don Zimmer as a player. That little stamp right there. And as a manager. That's pretty cool. I know we have some Red Sox fans. Pretty cool. Terry Pendleton. And we have another Pacific Collection. This is going to be Rondell White. Alright, throw that in there. Lloyd Mosby. Gino Petrali. We got a 74 tops here. Sal Bando. It's a pretty cool Oakland A's card right there. 74. Don't have many of those, that's for sure. 87 Donruss. Mark Clear. I'm wondering, I don't know if they flip the cards back and forth on purpose to, like, even that is kind of a nostalgic thing. I could maybe done without that. Got Jeff Montgomery, Carney Lansford. Holy cow, look at that name right there. Porfirio Altamirano. I don't know if that's how you say it, but I'm not going to try more than that. And look at this right here. This guy cannot escape me. If you just watch Dave Durango's video in which the police made an appearance, I sent him this card, and a couple days later here, now I am pulling it again. 78 Raleigh Fingers on the Padres. Pretty interesting card like that. He's also a Hall of Famer. We'll have to put that there. 79 Buck Martinez and a triple play Oral Hershiser. Oral Hershiser is not a Hall of Famer, but he was definitely dominant back in his day. That's for sure. Don Zimmer. Alright, man, we got a lot of packs to go through. This is fun. Hope you guys are all doing well today. I know we got all that stuff going on in the rest of the world, so it's kind of nice that we can still find, you know, the things that we enjoy to have some fun with together. So we got Kirby Puckett. This is the 93 Upper Deck, I believe. One of those things. I believe so. That's a Hall of Famer. Charlie O'Brien, 91 Topps. 90 Donruss Tommy Herr. 83 Donruss John Stupor. The Stupor. Throw him in the vintage pile. Oral was the man back then. 89 Score. And look at this. You guys better bet I have lots of these cards. 93 Salmon. You know, I open a lot of 93, which means... which must mean the omens are coming, guys. I hope the omens didn't leak over from these boxes. And look at this, 1971 or 72 card. This is a 71 NL strikeout leaders. Tom Seaver, Fergie Jenkins. That's our second Fergie card right there. Very, very cool. You can also see Don Sutton, Bob Gibson, Phil Niekro, Steve Carlton on that list. Tons of Hall of Famers there. We're going to have to throw that one on the board. Alright. Pretty awesome. Got a Barry Larkin League Standouts Hall of Famer from Fleer. I think from one of those rack packs. Ken Daly, 90 Leaf. Willie Hernandez. He just looks like a nice guy in that picture, Willie Hernandez. Looks like he just wants to be your friend, right? How much was this box? Yes, so you can visit their website. They also sell them on eBay. I'm not sure if they have any in stock right now, but you can buy the full 36 pack box, which is what we're doing today. That is, I believe, 90 bucks total. And they also have half boxes, which are less. I think they might even have like a couple packs. Will Clark. So, you know, I did the math, and if you do the math, like a Fairfield box and stuff like that, this is even better per card than that. So I went for it. Just, you know, we all have fun together here, and I certainly, if we don't pull anything else special, I'm already had fun, because I've never had the privilege of pulling an Ozzie Smith card, and might be a while before I can be able to get a 79 box. So really, really cool. I believe Jay's Openings and the Past is Alive, they've done live streams on these as well. And, you know, maybe it's a blessing that FedEx lost the package, because now we're doing it like a month later. Kind of had some time to, you know, if you guys missed the other ones, check those out. I know some other people, FDC Family Cards, has been putting out some videos on those half boxes. Very cool. Eddie Solomon, another 78. 87 Tony Phillips, Tom Hume. We got Brad Golden right there. That's a red card. 2003 Topps. This was like my peak of collecting right here. Brad Radke. 86 Sammy Stewart, and it's another 86 traded. Look at that. We got the Tony Fernandez rated rookie card. Tony Fernandez. Somebody who we just lost like last month. So still, you know, new in our hearts, kind of fresh. Octavio Antonio Fernandez. We will we'll put him right there. Rated rookie. Actually, we'll put him there. Tony Fernandez. And look at this. Jimmy Coker as a catcher. So this is going to be another 67. Yeah, very cool. Catcher for the Reds, Jimmy Coker. All right, so we've seen Gil Hodges' manager card, which was sweet. And there's Jimmy Coker. John Montefusco, 83 tops. 89 upper deck. Craig Worthington. And look, we got another Schmidt, 75 tops. Home run leaders. Dick Allen for the White Sox, which really looks like the red White Sox, right? And Mike Schmidt for the National League. That is a sweet one right there. Let's check out who else is on that list. Reggie Jackson, nice. Frank Robinson, Johnny Bench, Tony Perez, Darrell Evans, Willie Stargell, Willie McCovey. Super, super cool. Might need some extra space on this table. We're gonna get some sweet cards. There's another Hall of Famer, 92 Bowman Murray, Eddie Murray. Very, very cool. 92 Bowman, and the man who will always be remembered with Nolan Ryan, Jerry Koosman. Very, very cool. 77 Jerry Koosman, and a Chuck Knobloch. That is a rookie cup right there. That's what we were saying. If you call this the rookie cup, what is that? It's kind of a rookie trophy. All-Star rookie trophy. Glad you're back, NZ. Got to take care of the priorities. All right, let's continue on here. Walt Weiss, 90 Fleer. We see that a lot around here. Buddy Schultz, 78. Yeah, mustache there. All right, not the best. Dwayne Murphy, 84 Donruss. Cool. Delino DeShields. This is Delino DeShields Sr. Rookie from Upper Deck. Very, very cool. Delino DeShields Sr., Delino DeShields Jr., his son now plays. Another 87 opening day, Leon Durham. One of my dad's faves, Brian Downing, 1981 tops. Look at that. That's definitely a smaller Downing than his time on the Royals later in his career, that's for sure. 91 Fleer, Darrell Reeves. We got 93 tops, 91 tops. Rafael Ramirez. We got another 62 coming up. Got Billy Hatcher, and the 62 is going to be a Jackie Davis. You can see the condition is not good whatsoever, but it's another 62 common right there. Holy cow, we're going to have to slide these over, I think. Put that one down. All right, Jeff Montgomery. Okay. We have Ben McDonald and another Topps Finest, Brady Anderson, with the protector on it. I always know, as a kid, that's the first thing I would have done, is just rip that protector off. Why? I don't know. Executive Chef. Oh man, Truth, can you come over here? Bring some of that ice cream too, because make sure you bring cookies and cream. I didn't see cookies and cream on your inventory list last time I looked. Alright, couple packs now. Started off with the 90 Fleer, kind of to hide the 78 card, and look at that one. Very, very cool. Robin Yount. So not too far away from his rookie 75. Robin Yount, that's another Hall of Famer. We're getting a nice stack of Hall of Famers. Here's another prospect card. This time it's going to be Richie Sexton. The best one on there. Last time it was Bartolo. I guess we'll just throw those guys together. See, Mike Blowers. There's another Hall of Famer from Stadium Club. Mike Messina. Was this 03 Stadium Club? 01. Alright. Super cool. 1981 Topps. It's not the Tim Raines card. Rodney Craig. Greg Biercevics. And Rick Anderson. So that's the Mariners Future Star card there. Alan Trammell, 82. That is a Hall of Famer. We'll take that one. 74 or 80 Topps. We have Dan Meyer, Mariners card. All right. Bob Green. Mike Scioscia, back when he was on the Dodgers as a catcher. Now he's kind of remembered as the Angels' longtime manager. And look at this. 74 Topps. Reggie Jackson and Willie Stargell. That picture doesn't really look like Reggie Jackson up close, but definitely Willie Stargell right there. Look at that. We're going to have to throw that one up there. Super cool. Carney Lansford, Todd Benzinger, 89. Upper Deck, and Brian Harper. Alrighty. Whew. We still have a ton more packs. It was all sold out. Are you kidding me? I guess that's what people do when there's a pandemic, right? They stock up on the cookies and cream. Darn it, I should have thought of that. Joe Valentine, first card. I don't remember him. 2003. This is a post Dale Murphy. That's pretty sweet. I just love these postcards. And Dale Murphy is a nice player. Not a Hall of Famer, but man, I don't know how you could be so dominant. And I mean, back-to-back MVPs. It's just unfortunate some people tail off, and you know it's really the years of compiling good consistency that really gets you in the Hall of Fame, I guess. George Wright, another 86 traded. 90 Leaf, Tim Tuffle, and we have a Twins 72 here. Ray Corbin for the Twins. The cut not too great on that one, but that's still a very early on card. So we've got some 62s, got some 72s. Here's a 70 or 80. Dan Drisden. Dennis Martinez, 89. Upper Deck, another 75 tops. This one is super cool. It shows Willie Mays and Yogi Berra's 54 cards there. 25 years of tops baseball cards. So this is kind of like the 35 years that they do nowadays with the 84 design, or you know whatever they'll do this year and next year. Willie Mays and Yogi Berra. That's a pretty sweet one right there. Holy cow. Gonna put that down. What is up, Jaffa in the house? How you doing, my guy? Just going through this repacked wax, having some fun. Doyle Alexander, Danny Tartable. Whew! Yikes! Holy moly, we might have a huge stack by the end of this. Is the way we're going. I didn't think we would pull this many vintage cards. We'll keep going. We'll see. I always like these Pirates hats. Jim Rooker. Alright, Eric Hansen. Eric with a K. 96 tops. Sid Fernandez. These are Fleer Traditions. Wilbert Nieves. Was this 2004? 2002. Dave Johnson. 87. Bill Freehan. 77. Mike Bilecki, Bill Stein, Rick Honeycutt with the Mariners. I love the 81 design with the hats. Very, very cool design in my mind. Flip this over. I see another 79 coming. Uh-oh. This score is True Grit, Penny Lofton. That's not a bad one at all. This was the Hobby Reserve. Very interesting. That's pretty cool. I've never seen stats displayed like that. 91, 92, 93, 94, 95. Very cool. That's a nice one. Kenny Lofton with the little stamp right there. We'll take that. Is this Series 1 still? I mean, I guess you could call it. It says the first series on the box. And nice. Garrett Anderson. That'll go on my PC. Ron Jackson. Look at that. That's an Angels pack. Yes. So, I mean, we are assuming it's first series. Like I said, I ordered this in the very beginning. And they sent me a box in the very beginning. And after a little while, I was like, I feel like I should be getting that repacked wax. So I messaged him on eBay, and he said, okay, well, I dropped it off. You know, let me look into it. And came to, there's a Larry Walker 99 UG Choice. Came to find out that FedEx lost it. They actually never scanned it in, I guess. So he had to end up sending me another one later. So, I mean, it still says first series. It's a MVP 03 or 04. Bobby Witt 86, another traded. Very, very nice. Bobby Witt rookie. That's a nice one. Bobby Witt Jr. is a nice prospect coming up. Truth, we yeah, man, the stream will be archived, so if you need to hop out, the phone's dying, we will you'll be here for you to watch whenever you want to. Definitely. 72 A's. Angel Manuel. Kind of looks like Juan Marichal a little bit. Oh, man. Another 80. Mike Squires. Alright. Walt Weiss. There's a George Brett. That is 85 Fleer. Hall of Famer. Put him in the stack. Brett Saberhagen. Or wait. Whoa. Brian Harper. I was going to say. Brian Harper. Interesting studio card. I can't remember that design. Kind of looks like a patch there. You stand in the kitchen while it charges. You're crazy. Hey, but we can watch cards from anywhere, right? Mike Marshall, 77. All right. Whew. Might have to move this box. Might have to take out all the packs and move this box out of the way to display all our sweet cards here. Like I said, you get a sticker on each side. Protect the cards. Another 95. Another 99 UG Choice. Jeff Bagwell. Wes Gardner, Paul Mirabella, Gary Varsho, Dick Williams, another 86 traded. Traded on the back, look like the Tiffany's, and they have a T in the number. Another 72 tops. Holy moly, we got Ernie McNally. It looks like he's ready to pitch. We'll take that. 74 tops checklist, or 1980 tops checklist. I feel like I always get 74 and 80 mixed up. Jim Rice, 89 Upper Deck. That's a Hall of Famer. 84 Fleer Reggie. This is one of the cards that you put together, which is pretty cool. You can see on the back this one was Reggie and Ricky, Speed and Power. Pretty cool right there. You're going to put that in a Hall of Famer pile. Another studio card, and this one is a Hall of Famer, Wade Boggs. I like this studio set. 1993 Leaf, it says. So probably 94 studio. Very cool. I don't remember that one. Ben McDonald. We'll take that one. Mike Miley. And Scott Luce. Smash, what is going on? It's good to see all you guys in here. Let's take out all these packs and get this ginormous box out of the way. We can set some other things down. Show you the box again. Very nice, like matte. Clean. There's a first edition Jaffa, it says. Still. Okay. So, whew. We've gotten some 67, 75, 72s, 62s. Man, we're just killing it. 79, like we said. If you're just joining us, this card that we pulled, the 79 Aussie, is probably the best one that I think will probably come out of this box. I'm going to say that's probably our big rookie, but we're going to continue and see what we get. I always love the look of Studio and Stadium Club. They did always have kind of like a higher end look to them, especially with the Stadium Club full bleed photographs to the, you see what I mean right there, to the edges. 78 Bob Mercer, all right, and a Joe Carter on the Giants. Does that look like Barry Bonds right there? Joe Carter. I do not remember Joe Carter on the Giants. That's a cool one right there. Mark Thurmond, 88 Fleer. Got another triple play for Austin Farmer. Another postcard. This is a 94 Gary Sheffield. Not bad. Gary Sheffield was a great player. Bob Tewksbury, another 86 traded. Chris Smith, 84 rookie. Okay. And we have another 62. Gene Woodling. Gene Woodling with the Washington Senators. Classic rounded corners with the 1962 Gene Woodling. Alright, we will take it. That's our third 1962 card. And we know where to put it. Whew, alright. Continue. Jack Clark from 83 tops. Luis Rivera. And here's a Hall of Famer. 77 Rangers there. Gaylord Perry, who always looked super duper old, no matter how old he was. Willie Crawford, 78, and I feel like we finish off with one of these 92s a lot. Mike Harkey. All right. Hobbyist says he's got to get him one of those boxes. Yeah, they're very popular. Definitely super popular, especially after John broke his box. I think they kind of exploded. There's a Hall of Famer, 90 Dave Winfield. Oh, I thought that might have been Dave Justice from the side look of it. And it's Albert Bell. RBI leaders, top performers. Take that. It's not a bad one. Tom Seaver, 84. Very, very nice. George Thomas Seaver. Throw that there. Wayne Edwards. Kevin Mahat, rookie. And there he is, Dickie Thon, second base for the Angels, 81 tops. Classic 91 Fleer, 93 tops, 91 tops, 85 Fleer, 89 score, and ooh, nice. I always love these little, I call them inserts, but they're not really inserts. They're kind of their own little sets. League leaders, Wade Boggs. Subset, you can see they did a lot of sets of 44. It's a Hall of Famer. Another 92 Bowman. And what do we got here? Kind of like a little insert. This is a Hardball Galaxy. It's a Ken Griffey Jr. from Metal Universe. Nice. I do love Fleer Metal Universe. This is 1998. Wow. If you don't know 1998 Fleer Metal Universe, that is probably one of the best sets ever in baseball, especially with the PMGs, the Precious Metal Gems cards. Hardball Galaxy, Ken Griffey Jr. That is super nice. This one's kind of like a foil. I'm just going to immediately throw it in there, and look at that. That's kind of definitely a little contrast from the cards that we've been seeing. Very, very cool. From 98. And if you didn't know this, I was actually talking to Dave Durango about this the other day. He's like, why are those Fleer Metal Universe pictures so weird? Especially some of the ones before this, like they have aliens and stuff like that. Well, I was watching Essential Credentials podcast where he had, Matt had Jean Arena of Arena Design now, but she used to be the designer for Fleer and Skybox back then. And she said at that time, Marvel purchased them, and so then they had access to illustrators, Marvel illustrators, and she said they just used them. They never had illustrators before, and so they would go to the illustrator and kind of say make make a design, and that was that. So that's kind of interesting tidbit. There we go. Joe Morgan, 84. Love Joe Morgan. Catfish Hunter, Jim, look at that, he even writes Catfish right there. Jim Catfish Hunter, 1977. Bob Kearney, 83. Okay, I think this is it. I think this is the one. Boom, and it is. There he is, there's your Dave Justice from Collector's Choice. 94 Collector's Choice. That is it. We were waiting for it, Truth, Dave Justice. Alan will like that one too. And there goes a Wongon. Look at that. Signing the autos for the kids. What a nice guy there. 93 Upper Deck. Another 67 Tops. Joe Nuxhall. Definitely know Joe Nuxhall's name. I've heard his name before. So Gil Hodges manager card, which is absolutely sweet. Jimmy Coker. Now we got Joe Nuxhall. 2 Reds and the Senators. Super awesome. Boom, says NZ. Hit of the box. Truth. Yeah, I got to put that one up there, right? That was like just on display, making sure all the rest of our cards are decent cards. Todd Stoudemire, there's another Dave Parker, 77. I thought for a second that was a nice second year Ryan Sandberg, but there we go to Jay Johnstone. Another Tony Fernandez. So this is another rookie? This is his Fleer rookie? Yeah, wow, they gave... So... This is R.I.P. Tony Fernandez, because this is Donruss rookie, and now this is Fleer rookie. Yikes. Alright. Bob Lacey, 82 Tops. And another, this was not a bad one, Andy Pettit, Pacific Crown Collection. Very, very nice. NZ, yeah, you're exactly right, huh? That card needs to be one-touched. That card needs to be placed under a secure... lock and key display case. Lou Ford, first year card. I don't remember Lou Ford, 03. BJ Surhoff, Fleer Ultra, Mark Langston. Looks like we have another Leaf Limited card. Bobby Bunnell. And it's going to be a Jay Buhner, Leaf Limited. These are very nice cards. Super, super nice. Of course, you're looking for the golds in that set. 91 Greg Harris from Fleer. We got Greg Harris, and right after that is Gene Harris. Alright, and holy cow, look at that. Look at that. This card is in absolutely horrible condition, but I'm going to put a penny sleeve over it. Holy cow. This is going to be 1959, Frank Robinson. Holy moly. Very, very cool. Look at that. 307. That year, 322, and lifetime at that point, 307. Frank Robinson. Look at that. And if you heard some stories from Pete Rose said the management and the Reds let go of Frank Robinson because they thought he was too old. And then, of course, he went on to another team and win the Triple Crown. Holy cow. So we're going to have to put Bill Singer down, I think, because that's going to go next to our Ozzie Smith. I also enjoy the Gil Hodges card. Hobbyist, I think if you didn't say it, you said it now. You definitely need to get a box. Each pack we go through, it was kind of solidifying my decision to me is to buying these and going through the whole process of it getting lost and everything like that. How about this one? Jackie Robinson? I've never seen anything like this. It's an Upper Deck card. Let's check this out. 96, Breaking the Barrier. Very, very cool. Look at that foil from 96 Upper Deck, Jackie Robinson. Wow. So we got a Jackie Robinson foil, Ken Griffey Jr. foil. I mean, when they say collectors put this together, when the guys over there at Repack Wax say they're collectors and they're just like us when they put this together. I mean, when I'm opening their product, that's exactly what I feel. You know, I think everybody understands that in a product like this, there's going to be commons and stuff like that, but I think they do a really good job at, you know, mixing everything together. And, I mean, look at this 73 Louis Aparicio, Robin Yount, Upper Deck. Louis Aparicio for you Red Sox fans. 73, of course, another nice 73 card is that Carlton Fisk, so we got to throw him down there. We're losing space on the board. Holy moly. All-Stars Greg Maddux from 93 Fleer. Love that one. He is a Hall of Famer. Getting a lot of Hall of Famers. Jim Fregosi, he used to be the manager of the Angels. Pirates, 78 top, 84, Jerry Humphrey. There's Jose Lind. Randy Neiman. So look at that Pirates hat. It's got stars on it. I wonder if he did that on his own. And Carlos Perez. Alright, holy moly. We still have a bunch of packs left, guys. Got the Maddux. That is a gorgeous Robinson. I mean, I don't care what condition it is. That's a beautiful... Frank Robinson was a beast. I wish I could have seen him playing today. I know my dad shook his hand in person as a kid, and he said it was just like concrete. Frank White. We got Chili Davis, 84. Look at that. That's a young Chili Davis. On the Giants right there. Chili Davis. I remember as a kid, Chili Davis was such a cool name. Delino DeShields, rookie from Score. So there's his Score rookie from his Upper Deck rookie. So doubling up on the DeShields and the Tony Fernandez. Dave Frost, another Angels, 81. Dave Steeb. We got Jack Clark, Chuck Finley, Frank DePino, Randy Bush, another one of these Fleer subsets. Baseball All-Stars, Wade Boggs. Very cool. That one's from 89. Alright, I don't remember that one. JT Bruett, Franklin Stubbs, and another Fleer Metal Universe. Look at that. Darren Erstadt. IPC Darren Erstadt. So that's going right into PC. And it's another 98 Fleer Metal Universe. Just absolutely gotta love it. Gotta love the 98. I'll put that in that pretty good pile. Truth loves the chili. I know, yeah, that's for sure, right? Another Leaf Limited in this pack here. Let's check this out. We got Lou Ford. We definitely got him before. That might be the third card of him we've seen. Interesting. Bill Spires, Jim Morrison, Alvin Davis. I always love that Trident Mariners logo. And it's going to be Eric Anthony, Leaf Limited. Alright, we'll take it. Not the best. Steve Howe, 88 Donruss. I think it's the first 88 Donruss we've seen, luckily. Joe Carter, another Joe Carter. This time he's on the Padres. Look at that. That's a nice guy right there. Juan Marichal, 66. 1966 tops. Juan Marichal. Holy cow, that's a card with a nice blue background, sky blue background, ready for baseball. Juan Marichal. Little writing or mark on the top as kids used to do back in the day. That's a pretty nice card still. Juan Marichal 66. Where am I supposed to put it? Holy cow. Okay, we'll kind of do a little just housekeeping here in a second. Paul Molitor 91. Donruss. We'll put that there. Look at this. We got a Topps Laser Paul Molitor. I love these cards from 1996. Topps Laser. I always remember having my McGuire one since I was a kid. I do have a box of 92 Topps Laser. It looks like he's in the first set though. I have a second set box that we'll be doing. Love that. Not die cut, but laser cut. Frank Thomas, Hall of Famer. Look at that big hurt. Jim Clancy 78 and Hensley Mullins. I don't remember Hensley Mullins. Alright. Let's get this kind of a common stack out of the way. Could say we'll just put that up there so we can kind of make more space. Here's our kind of vintager pile. We got Hall of Famers right here. Not too bad on our Hall of Famer stack so far. And just kind of some other decent cards. Alright, Juan Marichal. Look at that. I gotta spread these out now. Holy cow. Tony Fernandez and Delino DeShields can't even fit now. Alright. And this one I forgot to finish here. Derek Bryant is... Oh, good. There's a Tim Raines. Nice one. That's Hall of Fame right there. Eddie Matthews, 73. Alright, so where am I putting my... There we go. That one goes there. This one goes in the old stack. You got the Frank Thomas out of the upper deck? Nice. Tim Raines. No, this is not the Tim Raines rookie. This is 85. So a little bit after. Tim Raines would be 81. Close though. Eddie Matthews, 73. Man, I love getting these vintage cards, that's for sure. So put that up there. Eric Anthony, Jim Sundberg. Hey, holy cow, we got a 92 Manny Ramirez draft pick. Definitely wasn't expecting that after what we've been getting so far. And look at this. This card is, you can just tell, this card is right out of a set. I mean, pristine. Youth Services League. Man Ram, Manny Ramirez. Very, very cool. So we're going to have to, I think, slide Delino DeShields, Tony Fernandez, Bobby Witt, all those other rookies that we've seen off to the top here because we've got some better guys coming in. All right. The stack of packs is getting smaller, but we still got some to go, guys. I mean, wasn't expecting Manny Ramirez. I wasn't expecting anything decent after we got the Aussie, really, but I'm just going to stop saying that because we just keep getting good cards. I know, right? 92, that was a really hot card, huh, back in the day. That's definitely what I heard. Eric Hansen again. Biff Pocoroba. Oh boy. Oh boy. You guys know who that is. You guys know who that is. Mike Jackson, another Dave Stewart. Cool. Got an opening day Rangers card. Alright, for all you Rangers fans. Andy McGaffigan, 84. 77, Lynn McLaughlin for the Cardinals there. Jack McDowell. Richard Dotson with the White Sox. Jack McDowell and then a Jack Howell. 87 Fleer Steve Carlton. 4,000 strikeouts. Hall of Famer. Nelson Santovenia. And that guy. And Chris Hammond rookie. The Plunker. Yeah, what a name as a pitcher, right? Eric Plunk. I don't know if I would want to be a batter facing a guy named Plunk. Ooh, look at this. Bowman's Best Piazza? Woohoo! Look at that card. Very, very nice. That is sweet. That's from 96. Bowman's Best. All right. Very, very cool. So we've been definitely getting some nice high-end cards as well. Mike Piazza, he is also a Hall of Famer. There's Doc Gooden and another 72 with the Astros, Don Wilson. Don Wilson. I don't remember anything about Don Wilson. I don't know if I've heard about him before. But that's the beauty of some of this stuff. You get to learn about the players too from back in the day. So let's see. Skeeter Barnes. Looks like another sweet Griffey coming up. Superstar Summit. I was recently just looking at this subset. Superstar Summit. I forget I forget what release this was from. I was just looking at this with all the cards in this, all the players in the set are on each card, which is kind of interesting. Even though this is a Ken Griffey Jr., you can see the players in the set: Sosa, Rodriguez, McGuire, Bonds, Piazza. Super cool. Super cool. Whoa! Hit the camera wire right there. That one is super cool. Eric Karros accepting some kind of the Jackie Robinson Award there. Cool. Leroy Stanton. Yeah, a little Trident Mariners hat. That's a different one. Rick Rushell, another one of those Fleer ones. Dan Gladden. And we have Miguel Delone. Alright. And a Kevin Bartle. Something like that. Alright, we're getting down to it, guys. Hope you guys have been enjoying so far, and for everyone who's here or stopped by, thanks for doing it. Finally got this set up. Supposed to be doing this yesterday, but David Ortiz, young Ortiz on the Twins there. It's like a second year card right there. I'm going to put that in a nice pile. Another 72, so they're just loading up. Kirk Gibson, and this is a Jose Cardinal. Set 1972. Alright, put that with our Don Wilson. Ted Cox. I was going to say, it looks like a young Ted Cox right there. Wow. 1980 tops. And some more commons. And another Griffey from Pacific Collection. The Pacific Crown Collection. Very, very cool. Looks like this is the base card that year. We're getting some nice Griffies though. Holy moly. Holy moly. Tony Phillips. Vita Blue on the A's. 1977 Vita Blue. That is another sweet card. Put that down. Larry Sheets. Bill Lasky. That was a very similar collation. We had the Fleer insert, the 85 Fleer, 82 tops, and the Pacific Crown Collection. There's something with that into how they're putting the packs together, I can tell you right now. Larry Hissel and Felipe Lira. Alright, we'll take it. Still got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think this is 11 packs. 10 more packs after this one. So still got a decent amount of cards to go through. It's a lot of cards. 15 cards a pack, 36 packs for the full box. 1995, Topps Embossed Kirby Puckett. Very cool. We'll be doing a box of these pretty soon. John Maben. Hey, Fergie Jenkins. Another Fergie Jenkins. 1974. See young Fergie there. Well, no, really not too young. Just kind of looks young. Cesar Cedeno. Frank Viola or Voila. Pat Clements. And another Griffey. There's a lot of Griffies in this box. Seems. A lot of Reds Griffies. But that's okay. We'll take it. Made to look like one of those old Fleer cards. This is from Fleer 03. Fleer Platinum. Fleer Platinum. Another Kevin Mitchell, Jim Eisenreich. 1977, we have Chris Chambliss here. Dramatic Homer Decides It. Very cool. Then our kind of vintage pile. Joe Pettini, and we got a Superstar Schmidt in action. Look at that. It kind of reminds me of the Willie Mays The Catch card. And what did I tell you? Another 85 Fleer, 82 tops, and then this Pacific Crown Collection. Dan Briggs and Tino Martinez. Take that. A lot of those Pacific Crowns we've seen. You got it, Gary. Thanks for stopping in, man. Appreciate your support as always. See you later. Have a good night. And we will see you soon, hopefully. Ricky Henderson, 83. Look at that. Nice condition, too, on that one. I have to put that down. Check that out. Another 92. And look at our first 1970 Topps card. Joe Hagney or something like that. You can see this one is, you know, been well loved. But it is our first real 1970 card there tonight. We'll take it. Topps Stadium Club. Draft picks. Jason Peterson. Don't remember him. Troy Neal. There's Del Murphy. And another 62 Topps. Jerry Lynch. So we're getting the 62 Topps base set down, I think. Very cool. Rookie class, Mark Acker. Ron Darling. And Ron Darling, looks like. Ron LaFleur, 77. Ernie Witt. 84. Shane Raleigh. 84. Fleer. 82 Topps. Pacific Crown Collection. George Brett. Look at that. 82 Topps George Brett. That's a pretty nice card there with the Royals logo and the blue on that. I like that. So that's our first George Brett. Hobbyist says he does not have that Schmidt. He likes that Schmidt. You don't have that Schmidt, hobbyist. You need to send me an email with your address, I think, then. We got another Topps Finest of the back. Here's Randy Myers. We got Randy Velarde. There's a couple Randys, Randalls. Fred Lynn with the Angels back in '84. Fred Lynn was always a great one. Alex Cole. And look at that. Albert Bell. Back on the Orioles from Fleer Tradition. 2000 Fleer Tradition. Very cool. Don Baylor. He was always a monster for the Angels. Look at that guy. Don Baylor. Love Don Baylor. Brian Downing. Mike Scioscia. Holy cow, look at that. Is that an Angels pack or what? Don Baylor. Fred Lynn, Don Baylor, Brian Downing, Mike Scioscia. And then you go to Nolan Ryan, who was on the Angels. We'll take Nolan Ryan record breakers. Mark Bailey, Randy Bush. We have a 1959 Topps Herb Moford. The surface looks incredible on this one too. I don't know Herb Moford, but wow. 1959 Topps Herb Moford. I always remember, let's see, what is it? 59 Bob Gibson. That beautiful, beautiful pink rookie card. Love that card. Truth. I don't have that Ozzie Smith rookie. I already have your address, Truth, and I don't have the Ozzie Smith rookie. Mickey Tettleton, you guys are funny. And Jeff King. Alright, not the first finest card. I won't complain. I'm getting more of those. What a name, Herb. Yeah, I know, huh? Herb. Reminds me of Herb Washington. The old pinch runner. First pinch runner, Herb Washington. Or even better, you guys look up Spud Finch. He was the real pitcher, the real best pitcher, 168 miles per hour. Padres, Pat Scanlon. There's an 87 Lee Smith. I don't think he knows where he is in that picture. Let's flip these around. We got Mark, Karen, Dan Spillner. And a Bob Hamlin, another one of the Leaf Limiteds. Beautiful cards. Flip this around. Todd Dunn, Brewers' top prospect. Well, unfortunately, he didn't go anywhere. Kevin Hickey, Jim Aducci. What is this one? Steve Carlton. I thought it might have been another Mike Schmidt, but it's a Steve Carlton. Batting and pitching leaders right there for the Phillies. Very cool. Similar to the 82 Royals one, I guess. Shane Raleigh. Look at, we got a Rod Carew, a 1980 Rod Carew. Super awesome. I was just talking to my dad the other day about Rod Carew's kind of story behind his foundation and his heart. If you didn't know, Rod Carew no longer has his own heart in his body. It is another person's heart. And so look up that story. It's a pretty crazy story. Schmidt was a home run hitter, not an average hitter. Yeah, that's right. I don't think we have Schmidt. I mean, 288 batting average? Come on. But that is true. All right, we're almost getting down to it. We got 6 packs left, guys. Von Hayes, Tom Hankey is another one of these prospects, and that one's probably our worst one yet. Paul Sorrento, Ron Coomer from Fleer Focus. Definitely probably opened up some of these as a kid from Fleer Focus. 2001 Fleer Focus. Pretty cool. We have some nice ones coming up. Looks like 81 Donruss, John Ellis, but look at that, 82 Jack Morris, Hall of Famer. I like the color palette to that card right there. Another 1980, we got Future Stars from Pirates, nobody special. Danny Tartable, Alejandro Pena, Tommy Herr, and another 1970, Billy Williams. Very cool. Billy Williams, definitely know Billy Williams. That is a nice card, and it's even in way better condition than the other 1970 we found. I mean, look at that one. Corners are way better than I would expect a 40, 50-year-old card to be. 50-year-old? Holy moly. Billy Williams. Wow. Long gone 92 Bowman. And Rafael Belliard. Whew. Alright, well, we are going to have to definitely do a recap after this because this is a lot of sweet cards. Going to do a little summary. Alright. Schmidt was a classy player. Schmidt, you know, one of the best third basemen ever, right? Eduardo Rodriguez, 78 tops. This is our first 90 top. This is not even 90 tops either. It's 89 debut. Yeah. So pretty cool. Has the 90 tops design, but it's the 1989 tops debut. Edgar Renteria from Pacific Paramount. This is 99 Pacific Paramount. I was just looking at buying a box of 98 Pacific Paramount last week. I didn't end up pulling the trigger. Another 86 tops traded. Mike Bodricker. Oh, we got another 72, and it's going to be Bob Barton. All right. The Padres there. Bob Barton. Have to look him up. Bob Barton. Nolan Ryan, 74 tops. And look at that one. I mean, look at the condition. Holy cow. Very, very cool. It's an Angels tops card. Very, very fun. Hobbyist, 45 minutes. Yeah, maybe. Look at all this stuff. Holy moly. And a Dave Winfield, 77. So we got the Ozzy and the Winfield. Very, very cool. Wow. That's awesome. Both from the Padres. Brady Anderson, again, that studio. Willie Green, 92 Bowman, and Ken Wright, 77. Okay. Holy moly. 1980 tops, Nolan Ryan. Yeah, you're right. See what I was saying? I always get mixed up with the 80 and the 74. To me, they're kind of similar designs, but yeah, 1980. I don't even know where to put it on the screen. 1980. Very, very cool. Alright, we got one there. And one here. Well, you just learned the difference between 77 and 81. Yeah. There's we have an 81 somewhere in these stacks here. You know, the 81's got the hat on the bottom. And the 77 has the little flag right there. So we got another checklist. Tons of years, huh? That's the 74 or 81, I think, is the ones that mix me up the most. 78, Larry Herndon. All right, Dominican Dynamites with George Bell on there. Brewers, Dave Nilsson, Leaf Limited. Okay, Road to the Show, Dustin Hermanson, Tom Niedenfurter, and there's 80 tops again. Mike Hargrove, Mike Greenwell, Fergie Jenkins, 79. Not bad. We've gotten like 3 Fergie Jenkins cards so far, right? That's pretty cool. Gosh, we're gonna have to. I think Hobbyist was right. This is gonna take a little bit to go through. 4 packs. 4 packs. 4 packs left, everybody. All right, we repacked wax again. We're going through full box. Just flip this over. More 80. Chet Lemon. Jeff Reed from Stadium Club. Pat Borders. Andrew Jones, Upper Deck Retro. Wait, Upper Deck Retro. Oh, 1998 Upper Deck Retro. Yes, 1998. That's pretty sweet. I like that one. There was an Upper Deck Retro, I think it was like 2010 or 2000. Might have been even 2013 Upper Deck Retro. That Upper Deck was going to have a set. This is 74 right here. And they ended up canceling it, but it was going to be a pretty sweet set. Kind of basically a throwback of all the good Fleer Skybox cards in the late 90s. Tom Seaver, 74. So, I mean, holy moly. You like Fergie? Both the player and the singer. We got that guy right there. Let's see. Hathaway, there's another Wally Joyner. Getting down to it. 1983, 1977, and was that a real Indians like uniform? That looks kind of funny. Bobby Bounds, 79. Wow, very very cool. And a top prospect checklist, but hey, maybe Chipper's on the checklist. He is on the checklist, right there for the Braves. All right, last 3 packs, guys. Still trying to beat that Aussie. I don't think we're going to, but you just never know. Alright, starting off with another 90 Fleer, Corey Snyder. Domingo Martinez, we got 84 Donruss, Paul Molitor. We will take that one, put it in our Hall of Fame stack. Howard Farmer, Mike Munoz, rookie. There's an 81 Fleer, Willie Wilson. Most hits, most runs. Another 89 Upper Deck, Xavier Hernandez. There's a Carlton Fisk, Record Breakers. Nice. From 91 Tops. Wade Boggs. Man, I think we've gone like 4 or 5 of these Fleer subset Boggs, right? Not too bad. Definitely didn't have that one. Dean Palmer. And another 98 Fleer Metal Universe, Darryl Kyle. You can see he's pitching on a nice river there. Nice flowing river. We'll take that one. Chippy is right. Final 2 packs, guys. Final 2 packs. Look at this. We got one of those Denny's holograms. It's the boy Kirby Puckett. I don't know how well this Denny's hologram is working anymore. That kind of seemed like a weak holo. Okay, wait. There it is, kind of. Alright, that's cool. Take that. Actually, he's a Hall of Famer. Jeff King, and we got an 84 Pete Rose. Alright, I mean, that is the, that's the year he broke the record, right? 84? Maybe I'm thinking of another year. Alfredo Griffin. He did a lot of coaching after his career. Benito Santiago. And holy cow, look at this. Is this a 57? Yes, it is. 57. Look at me. 57. 1957 Tops. Gerald Lynch. Jerry Lynch for the Reds. Holy moly. Holy moly. All right. Tino Martinez. We got a 77 Brooks Robinson. Holy moly. Crazy. I don't even know what to say. Al Williams. Look at that. Ricky and Dale Winfield right there. Holy moly. That's a double Hall of Famer card. And there's a Mike Schmidt in action. 82. Look at that one. I bet you have that one in your Mike Schmidt collection. If you're a big Mike Schmidt fan. Love that card. Very, very cool. Alright, holy cow. Look at this. Look at this table. We got our final pack. Final pack. Final pack, guys. Here we go. Repacked Wax 1983. Look at that. Both stashes in check on that guy right there. Walt Williams. 72 Tops. Chicago White Sox. Whoa! Put that one way up there. We got Angels, Burt Campaneris. Not bad. Lee Smith from Stadium Club. Another Hall of Famer. flip these ones over and we'll finish off this whole box here. End with the Griffey from Fleer Ultra. Kind of reminds me of a Stadium Club from, you know, years around now, recent years. Tony Gwynn, The Big Show, 99 or 97. Collector's Choice, something like that. Andy Van Slyke. Earl Williams, 77 tops. Lou Piniella, we know he likes to look at some baseball cards. And a Gary Lucas. Okay, but wait a minute. I hope you didn't see that, Truth. The last card in the box. The last card in the box is a Dave Justice. It is a David Justice Braves card. I mean, what a better way we could end it. I don't think there is one. Very, very cool. Holy moly. That is, oh, boom right there. So look at this. Is just the kind of stack of higher end common cards that I snagged out. So you can see a lot of Pacific Crown collection, a couple of these studios, some of these Leaf Limiteds, some of these Topps Finest. So if you were planning on getting one of these boxes, it's kind of something that you could expect to get. Look at that young Ortiz. Topps Laser. We'll be doing a box of these in the future pretty soon. So I mean, holy cow, right? These are like kind of just the high-ender, more recent higher-end cards. No big names, but the common guys. Holy cow. Here's our other Dave Justice. So it ended up getting 2 Dave Justice cards in one box, which is pretty cool. Whew, yeah, a lot of Leaf Limited, which is pretty nice. No big players, unfortunately, but I mean... So here's our Hall of Fame stack. That was kind of just other decent Hall of Famers and their cards. Nothing we put on the table, but just, I mean, a lot of variety here. 91, 85, I don't even know, 89, or that was the 2000 whatever. Griffey, 87, 85, 93, 91. Very cool. I see a lot of those Boggs inserts. Gaylord Perry, there's Boggs. Bagwell 99 UD. Choice Walker 2. Alan Trim. I mean, look at this. This is just the Hall of Famers that I put in the stack. There's the fingers. Schmidt, Rippey. A lot of Griffeys. Holy moly. Wow. Whoa. Alright. So, we got our stack of a bunch of kind of common old ones right here off to the side. Won't be going through that. Put this stack of other commons off to the side. And let's kind of go through our decenter. I don't know if that's a word. We remember we got this Richie Sexton prospect card, which was pretty sweet. Also, remember that young, thin Bartolo. Look at him. Crazy, huh? Prospect card. Bobby Witt, the 86 traded. Delino DeShield's Upper Deck and Score. And then we got Tony Fernandez. Rest in peace, his Donruss. And his Fleer. And I guess we'll go over here to the left side to some of these newer cards. Quote unquote newer. A lot of Griffeys. So look at this. Griffey Fleer Ultra. That was a super sweet one right there. We got that Jackie Robinson Upper Deck. That foil. I have to look more into that one. Mike Piazza Bowman's best one. My favorite ones there. And a couple other sweet Griffeys. Metal Hardball Galaxy. And then the Superstar Summit. Just absolutely beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. We also got this bad boy right here. 92 Man Ram Manny Ramirez draft pick card. Can't go wrong with that. And then, of course, all these vintage cards you see on the screen. We also got the Post Dale Murphy. Thought that was pretty cool. Back looks a lot more newer. See, 1990, that looks a lot more newer than a 1990 card. Alright, and then we got a bunch of these sweet cards here as well. Look at this, 84, that was our Steve Carlton pitching leaders right there. Another Phillies card, Mike Schmidt, 82 in action. 82 Royals, batting and pitching leaders with Brett on there. Let's see, we got a couple 75s here. Home run leaders, most valuable players. That'd be cool to have those two real cards. Very awesome. Schmidt on that one. And then Mays and Berra on that one. Let's see here. We got 83 Ricky Henderson on the A's there. And a 73 Louis Aparicio. Super cool. 77 Vita Blue. Put that up there. And let's see what we got here. We did get a stack of 72s. So we're going to have to go through those ones. Holy moly. I'm going to say Bill Buckner's probably our best 72, but you know. No logo on the Murph. What? On the Murphy? On the Murphy. Where did I put him? Oh. This one? No logo. Yeah, you're right, huh? I bet because Post didn't have the, you know, they're kind of like Donruss now. They were in that position. They didn't have the rights, I bet. It says MLB right there, though. Interesting. I wonder if that was his uni, his real uni, or they actually had to airbrush those off. Good catch there. I love stuff like that. I do love that league leaders. The that one right there. How can you go wrong with the 75 pink, half part pink Schmidt right there? Love it. So we did get another 72 over here. All right, look at all these 72s that we got. So start off with the strikeout leaders, Fergie and Tom Seaver. That's an awesome one right there, right? Take that. We got Ernie McNally, Angel Mangual, the A's, Ray Corbin, Bill Buckner. That's probably my favorite one. Walt Williams, Bob Barton, Bill Singer as well in the Dodgers. Jose and Don Wilson. A lot of 72s there. We're not done yet. We'll go to 74. Another 73. I like this one. Reggie and Willie right there. That's a nice card. Super cool. Yeah, but they have the MLB. That's why I was like, what? It doesn't make any sense. Eddie Matthews there. Maybe it was just a... maybe it has nothing to do with their rights, and maybe they just caught him on a warm-up day. I don't know. Look at these 70 here. So we ended up with two 1970s. And the Billy Williams is definitely the one in better condition, which I'm definitely happy about. Billy Williams, super, super cool. Got another Fergie, 79 tops. We'll look at the 79 again, because you know what we got there. And holy moly. So up in 80, Nolan Ryan, and our 78 Tom Seaver. So you can understand how I get these years confused. 74 and 80, very similar. So that's pretty cool. Both amazing pitchers back in their day, that's for sure. 62s. We got 3 62s, 4 62s. Holy cow. Dave Winfield, Padres. Pretty awesome. You know, it's very possible that these are, you know, part of the cards in that lot that they're bidding on, because these cards come from lots, singles, sets. So, you know, check out their YouTube, see how they put them together, because that is pretty awesome. That'd be awesome if you saw them before they were opened again here. Pretty cool. So, look at those 62s. Holy cow. 66, Juan Marichal. Now, how can you go wrong with that? Little bunny ears on there, but it's a 66 card. I mean, come on. We also have some of these 67s. Joe Nuxall, Jimmy Coker, my favorite being the Gil Hodges manager card. Cannot forget 59, Herb Mulford. Not bad. I love the 59 logos in there. So classic. Old. We got Jerry Lynch, 57. Super cool. Love the back on that one. You know what we're building up to. We got Frank Robinson here. Gotta love that one. 1959 Frank Robinson. Also cool team logos on those cards. But boom. Probably why he didn't win. I don't know. Ozzie Smith right there. Rookie card. Ozzie Smith rookie. 1979 tops. no doubter. We thought this one would probably be our best card that we pulled at the beginning of the box, and really it ended up that is exactly the way it happened. So boom, look at that. I hope all you guys had a blast hanging with us today. We got a lot of these cards. I'll have to sleeve up and put my collection and see if any of you guys need some of them. So I hope you guys enjoy. I believe Dave Durango should be, what time is it? Dave Durango should be going live any minute, so probably T-minus 9-10 minutes, so actually perfect timing. He's going to be having his second half of that Gypsy Queen break, if you guys were in that. Awesome, cool. I think it is definitely worth $90. Like I said, if you did the math, as I did, on the normal Fairfield boxes from, Walgreens and stuff like that, those pharmacy boxes, $90 for this product, I think is well worth it. Those guys over there, the team Ryan has putting stuff together, man. You guys are doing a great job, and it's made for collectors. I think that is the important part. Made for collectors, made by collectors. They didn't pay me at all to say any of this stuff. We just like having a lot of fun here, guys. So I hope you guys all enjoyed. We will catch you next time. I'm glad that the stream, went smoothly and everything. Finally, that we got it up and running. So that means we're going to have breaks going again. And so the next thing to look forward to would be Jeter 1993 Top Series 1 boxes that will be breaking. And I hope to do 2009 Topps Chrome that I have a case of coming up, as well as others down the line. So as always, keep collecting. Care about the cards and each other. Each other is most important, especially during times like now. And we'll catch you guys later. Hope to see you in Dave Durango's stream.